Okay, welcome back. We are now going to go into our settings and go to this this bare minimum adjustment. Okay, so this bare minimum adjustment is your percent of drive labor protected. Right now it's set to 0, so this is your drive labor. This right here, let's break this down. Your ideal fair bid, your ideal fair rate, bleh, I really need a drink of water here, is 100% of this dollar amount, your on-site charge. This is you flying your drone. This is, you have factored into this dollar amount right here things like your cost of doing business, your insurance, your gear, all that is what you used, hopefully, to come up with whatever you're charging per hour. Okay. If you haven't gone through that exercise, it's probably something you ought to do just to make sure you're not, your hourly rate is fair to you and your business and where you're at in your career. Are you just beginning, or have you been doing this for a long time? And those, it's really a good idea to take a day, a solid day to really do the work up front and figure that number out. Because that's everything is based off of that, and you want to protect that. Okay, so you want 100% of whatever it is that you charge to fly and do your profession. If you have to drive a long period of time to get to your missions, say you live out in the middle of nowhere, or you live where there's few jobs, and you have to drive to do that, are you getting paid for that time? So you should be. My opinion, but you might be, like, no, I do a tax deduction on my IRS, taxes, and I'm okay with not getting paid. But I have a business, and my time is worth something, and it's worth $45 an hour while I'm driving to my next location, or whatever it is. Okay. Down here is your fuel. That's an out-of-pocket expense. You want to, have that 100% covered. And same way with any out-of-pocket expenses, literally, you want to make sure you're 100% on those. So you're getting your costs covered out of pocket. You're getting paid for this. So 100% of all of that is this number here. Now, if you take 100% of this and 100% of these two numbers, and you minus off this whole thing, it's this number here. And that's the number you're gonna try to protect if you can, or if you want to. If you want a big range, you're okay whenever you take a mission of not being paid for your drive time, because you also over here are getting a benefit from IRS for your mileage. Remember, anytime you complete a mission and you submit complete, that adds it up to your mileage log. So you're actually going to collect, whenever you submit your taxes, you'll actually get a deduction for your mileage. So that is a benefit to you, and that makes this fairly easy to be the sticky part or the soft spot that you can negotiate from. So if you're in negotiations with somebody about a price, what's the thing that you can bend on with the least amount of pain? Okay, and for drone flying, you don't want to bend on this number. You really don't. You've put a lot of time and effort into doing the thing that you're doing. So if you're driving, that's the easy one to pull from. You certainly don't want to do anything out of pocket, because you're paying this right now. You haven't been paid. They haven't submitted anything to you. So this is your upfront costs that you're investing into this job. So again, this is soft. And since you're getting a deduction, it kind of balances itself out a little bit. Of course, getting 100% of this and doing the IRS deduction is the best of the best possible predicament or situation. But if you have to take a hit, this is where you're going to take the hit. So all right, let's go in here and show how that all changes with this bare minimum adjustment. So let's say we want to protect 50% of our drive time, or our drive rate. This number went up. You'll notice this went down, or this became a lot smaller. You're still at this, $500 that they're going to offer you. You're still within that window. So, technically you're okay. You can take this job and it will quote unquote be profitable for you. And it says it here. But if say you have that set at Let's say you're like, nope, I'm only gonna budge 25%, so I'm gonna protect 75% of it. Well, now you see this dot turned red. This window got a lot smaller, and your minimum went up. So that's how that works. Hopefully this all, hopefully seeing it makes sense. Okay, but it also changes these numbers down here. Your 500 changed all that. So, but let's say they come back and offer you, let's say, what, 680. Okay, you notice how everything turned green? It says take it. What they're offering you is above this number right here. So, again, there you go. It's a no-brainer to go ahead and take it, even though we've already looked. This is saying that the average is this, and the offer of 680 is 54% below this average. It's still even you're below the low. Okay, but that's good for SiteView. For you, because you charge this for your numbers, your business, this is profitable for you. This is a good day. Again, so for the industry, probably not, but for you, and that's what you really want to care about is you, right? You're not doing this for the industry. You're doing this for your business. This right here is a very good number for your business at that moment in time. If you charge more, then it's gonna give you a different number and all that. So that's how all that works. Okay, all right. Next up, we're gonna do. I think we've kind of gone over all that. I'm gonna show you a bid, and we're gonna do an estimate. So stick around.